the previous and the next card?
Everybody knows tarot. Tarot tells the story. The cards tell the story. And the card next to it is going to give me more influence on the cards that the first card that just went down.
Not influence, information.
Information. Okay, more detail.
So these 22 cards, and these usually show up in the spread. You don't have any influence. Because you don't have any influence over these. Why don't you have any influence over these? Because these correspond to astrological planets and constellations.
Okay.
So we don't control the stars and the planets. The planets and the stars control us.
I react to them though.
Right.
How I react is up to me.
That's up to you. But the individual energetics themselves,
right?
We ain't got no influence there.
Because Saturn is going to do what Saturn does.
Mars going to do what he do. Pluto going to do what he do. Everybody going to do what they going to do.
So most people think, okay, so there's more than 10 cards down here. So there's more than 10 planets. 22. Right.
It's
so
22 cards. It if you were doing what's that? Contemporary astrology, it's 10 planets. If you were doing classic astrology and classic tarot, it would be the original. I think there was 7 planets.
Yes.
And then it would be 3 elements would be assigned to them other cards.
Okay.
And that would be the Fool, the Hangman, and Judgment, respectively.
So, is the North Node in here? So, first off, the 10 planets are represented here.
Yeah.
And then outside of it, so it's 12 more cards. Who are they? The signs?
The signs. So,
wow.
We have Uranus or Pluto, depending on what deck you have and what school of thought you come from.
But in this deck here, who's the Fool?
I usually assign this to Uranus. I would assign...
Not my anus. That's just a cosmophysics joke. Uranus.
I would assign Pluto as the Judgment.
Okay.
So we have Uranus, Mercury, the Moon, Venus, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Jupiter, Libra, Neptune, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Mars. Yeah, I'm a Capricorn.
No, I'm just saying, like, they call the devil Capricorn.
Oh, yeah. And that's for a good reason. I understand that a lot more than other people do. Aquarius, Pisces, the Sun. I always say, who else is going to play this arrogant bastard?
The Sun.
Yeah, who else is going to play him?
No, right. Pluto,
and Saturn.
Saturn has 2 cards?
No, Saturn has 1 card. Saturn is the world.
Who is the devil?
The devil is Capricorn.
The devil is the sign of Capricorn. And the world is the planet Saturn. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
hold on, let me see if I can recall.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Fool is Uranus.
Mm-hmm.
The Magician is the Moon.
Nope.
Mercury.
There you go.
The High Priestess is the Moon.
Yep.
The Empress is Venus.
Mm-hmm.
The Emperor is Mars.
Mm-hmm.
Aries, because I see the Rams. The Hierophant is Taurus.
Yep.
I just remember that. I don't see why, but I'll come back to that. The Lovers, that's got to be Gemini.
Yep, correct.
The Chariot, Leo?
Nope.
Cancer?
Yes, sir.
Also, it's coming in order. The Chariot is Cancer. Strength got to be Leo.
Mm-hmm.
The Hermit. Damn, is that Virgo?
Yes, sir.
Damn, Virgo. Wheel of Fortune, that's Jupiter.
Yes, sir.
Justice is Libra.
Mm-hmm.
The Hangman. Death is Scorpio.
Yes, sir.
So the Hangman. So I'm caught up somewhere between Libra and Scorpio.
You already did Libra.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm caught up. The Hangman, he's caught up between justice and death. The Hangman.
Which planetary body looks at the world upside down?
Which planetary body looks at the world upside down? It ain't Mars. We already covered that.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the process of elimination. I'm working around the chart. We ain't got to the sun yet.
Mars is still coming up.
The Emperor wasn't Mars?
Nope, the Emperor was Aries.
He was Aries.
The Ram.
Yes, Aries, Taurus. The Hangman. He ain't Pluto.
Nope, Pluto is Judgment.
Yeah. He gonna have to come back, process. Temperance.
No, you don't. If you know that this is Pluto and that is Uranus, what is the other planet?
Neptune?
There you go.
The Hangman is Neptune? Neptune looks at the world upside down?
Yep, spirituality.
Ah, the Hangman is spirituality. Yeah, often misunderstood. Okay, you gave me another clue. I didn't know that one. Temperance. Temperance. It's got to be Sagittarius.
Correct.
How? Well, that's another one I don't understand. The wings?
Movement.
Expansion, too.
Mm-hmm.
He's the philosopher. The devil, Capricorn. The tower. Damn, it's going down over there. The tower is... We're already past Capricorn. We haven't got to Saturn yet. So... Aquarius?
Nope.
The star is Aquarius because he's the water bearer. That makes sense. So then the tower is Uranus? Nope, because that's at the top. It's not Pluto.
Nope, because that's the way to come.
Right. He's not the sun.
Who else is going to play the sun?
The sun. Right. Who's the tower? Wait a minute.
This is the Emperor. That is the card that you see up there.
The Emperor was Aries.
So
the tower is Mars.
There you go.
Because there's a lot of action going on. There's a lot of action.
A lot of violence.
A lot of violence. That's what I mean when I said you want action. And then, so now we got Aquarius. The moon is the moon?
Mm-mm. The moon is the high priestess.
The moon is the high priestess, so this moon is Cancer.
Nope. The Cancer was the chariot.
Well, then that's Pisces. The moon is Pisces.
One of these dogs are an illusion. That is the real dog.
The yellow one's the illusion.
Mm-hmm. Reflecting the moon's light.
Why is the crab coming out of the water? Or the scorpion coming out of the water?
That is a crab, lobster. That's coming out of water. That represents the subconscious mind coming into the conscious mind. Bet.
And then the sun, of course, is the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Judgment is Pluto.
Mm-hmm.
The finale, my nigga, my niece.
Mm-hmm.
And then Capricorn is the world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, this is not Capricorn. That is
Saturn. Saturn is the world. And the devil is Capricorn.
Yes.
All right. Big shots out. What up, everybody? I'm here to get my tarot lessons on. Y'all just pay attention. This is for me. Okay. This is so now everybody. Wait a minute. What's your Instagram? Because they need to follow you on Instagram.
My Instagram is Owl Crown Tarot.
Owl Crown Tarot. OWL Crown Tarot. Somebody type that in the box. The owl that goes hoo-hoo. Crown that you wear on your head, and then tarot. Somebody type that in, please. All right, go ahead.
So this depicts the fool's journey. And the reason I say that tarot is, everyone knows tarot, is because the fool represents us. Another name or the title that the Golden Dawn gave the fool was the spirit of ether, meaning the spirit of spirit. So before we come here, we are all spirits. And if you trace our source all the way back to the beginning, we would be the spirit of spirit. That's where we all come from. In physics and science, they call it the Big Bang. But it's all the same thing.
So I went to Carnegie Hall. Me and Ned went to Carnegie Hall on Friday. And he was talking about soul and spirit. And the Taoists say that soul is the drop of rain and spirit is the cloud. Okay. Because spirit stays attached to the body of God. And you can live your whole existence in the spiritual form. and not become brave. That's why they call you a brave soul, because you decided to come down here to earth and experience all this human stuff. So the fool's journey, is that like because I decided to come down here?
Partly. I mean, if you want to look at it like that.
Okay.
More so is that we chose to come back down here, and also that we kind of bumped our heads on the way.
Of course.
So
amnesia do that to you.
Yeah, this is a very weird and particular kind of amnesia. But all is not lost. So the fool at the beginning is just that, a fool. After the fool completes his journey, he is no longer the fool, he's the Grandmaster.
The Hierophant?
No. The fool is the fool. The fool is also the Grandmaster. The fool is the strongest card in the tarot deck.
But you said after he completes his journey.
So after the fool completes all 21 of these trials,
right,
he comes down here.
Right.
And at that point, he's the Grand Master. He has already mastered all 21 other lessons.
Oh.
The Fool card is unnumbered, is 0, because it represents spirit.
Right. And he got to complete himself.
Yes. That's the whole point of all of us being here in the first place anyway.
Right. Okay. Raindrops. So once again, why do you say everybody knows tarot? Back to that.
So
I already know tarot.
Well, you do already know tarot. So one that I say that you already know tarot because you already know astrology. And for everyone out there that knows astrology, you can pick up tarot relatively easy. You just have to know the correspondence to go with it. Because all of the tarot cards have a astrological correspondence, all the way down to the minor cards and the court cards.
Keep me focused right here though, on this 22.
So for all the men here, we will all be magicians, and for all the women, they will be the high priestess. So after the fool comes down and makes a decision to jump into physical form,
the brave soul,
the fool splits itself.
Okay.
So if you're a masculine, you will be the magician. If you're a feminine, you will be the high priestess.
Hi.
And then you will go out and complete these tests or these tasks. And this tells the story. So the fool meets a magician, is usually depicted as a fortune teller or a storyteller, that tells him to go see a priest or the high priestess. The high priestess is the one who gives him access and entryway into the mysteries. After that, he meets the All-Mother, who are the Empress, the person that runs the kingdom, the female half of the kingdom. She is usually representative of abundance. And then after that, you meet the Emperor, real stern-faced man, no, I would say BS, real straightforward. After you meet the Emperor...
Pause. Why y'all ain't shared this video? Somebody else need to know tarot. Press 2 if you shared the video. Like the hell y'all doing? Just sitting here. You ain't taking no notes. If you ain't taking notes, you should be pressing 2. How about that? Okay.
After the fool meets the Emperor tells the fool to go meet the Hierophant, because he has further spiritual knowledge for the fool. During that time of the fool being under the Hierophant's study, he usually meets his lover, or the love of his life.
Because he got some money. He got to go see the Hierophant in Taurus. He got to get some bread, some value about his damn self. You know what I'm saying?
It's not necessarily money, more so value, spiritual value.
Right.
And there he meets his lover, or the love of his life, or his first love. And his lover, after he meets his lover, he realizes that he has to further carry on his journey, which is the Chariot card. And then after that, on his journey, he is confronted with a conflict that cannot be handled with brute force. It has to be handled with subtlety, which is strength. After he masters that lesson, he goes into isolation and seclusion. That is the hermit. During that time, he is under the forces of fate and destiny. That is the wheel of fortune. After he completes his task for the forces of fate and destiny, he is judged by karma, justice, where he is prosecuted. Usually don't really turn out too well for him in most stories. Where he is hanging upside down. During his time, he is suspended in mid-air, and he is no longer entangled to the limits of the physical world. And he has a spiritual enlightenment or epiphany.
With all the blood rushing through his head.
And then he dies.
Shit happens.
And during that death, he undergoes a spiritual transformation. He also meets a guide that helps push him on and encourages him and tells him that this is the last step you take before you meet your adversary.
So isn't Temperance Sagittarius?
That is Sagittarius, but the card or the figure represented here is Archangel Michael.
Right, but Sagittarius is the guru. It's the sign of the guru. So
Okay.
you're saying after he dies, you know what I'm saying, after he goes through this death, then he's meeting, I'm just trying to relate them in my way so I can know what that is when I see that. So that's a Sagittarius energy, even though that's Archangel Michael.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And then he meets and defeats his adversary. After he defeats his adversary...
So he got to die, get guidance, then see the adversary.
Because we are the adversary.
Gotcha.
God and the devil is you. Every time you look in the mirror, you see both of them.
Right.
So, in order to face yourself, your innermost devil, you might have to die. Or you might have to undergo a significant change, a great transformation.
That's how when they killed Jazz and Kyrie was born, we went out and he was like, today, he said, what he say? He said, may I kill you today? That was the lesson. Right.
And then after he defeats his adversary's tower usually comes crashing down. And during that time, he is lost, but all hope is not lost, for there is a star that guides his way back home. So he's still dead, and this is going back to the process of resurrection. So he is using this star, I think that's the North Star, to find his way back home. But during that journey, he cannot be confused by illusions. Remember, that is a illusionary dog. That's the real dog.
Right.
That dog will guide him home. This dog will lead him astray.
Right.
And then during this period, this is when he kind of like reaches spiritual enlightenment. And then he is judged. And then after he is judged, he is brought back.
Are there pride issues here or ego issues here with the sun sometimes?
If you were to look at that, you can look at that as pride or ego. Especially when you start doing tarot and astrology, I usually do that as pride or ego, or a sense of enlightenment or spiritual attunement when I see that in a reading. It depends how it's dignified, though.
Somebody said that this story is very Jesus-like.
In a way, all these cards do have Christian iconography on it. I have a whole bunch of tarot cards that don't, though.
Oh. Yeah, matter of fact, damn
but
it, all of
Jesus
them.
is also us.
Right.
That ain't nothing but a story. That
Right.
if properly decoded, tells you about the limits and bounds of reality as we know it.
Yeah. My folks should already know that, but I got some different folks on here. So now, in doing a spread, or is that enough information for me to start, quote unquote, reading tarot?
No.
Okay.
Because you would need to be able to associate keywords with each one of these cards, or you would have to be clairvoyant or clairaudient enough to be able to look at the cards and have a communication with the cards.
But since I know astrology, as long as I know what the keyword is for the sign or the card, then I could do a reading.
You could do it sort of that way. That will only get you but so far.
Of course. So
yeah, you could do that.
So what are the keywords if they're not the astrology keywords? What are the keywords? So like when I see the Fool, what's the keyword that I associate with the Fool?
The start of a new adventure, innocence, union. Those are the three I usually think of. The Magician is the master or mastery of a craft through practice and discipline. It's also the first male principle. Then you have the High Priestess. That is the second female principle. Or it will be the first female principle, but it's the second principle in terms of principles. That is representative of intuition, the subconscious mind, and esoteric knowledge. The Empress is symbolic of abundance, sensuality, and love. So this one, yeah, you could definitely use your planetary keywords for Venus and translate them here.
But not relationships, because Venus rules Libra and Taurus. A lot of people are always talking about, when they look at Venus, they talk about Libra and relationships, but they leave out that it ruled Taurus first.
That's not really relationships. If that have to deal with a relationship, that will either be your significant other or your mother.
The Empress.
Yes.
Okay, bet.
This would be the father. That would also be Aries. You can say violence, war, and transgressions are definitely up his alley. But also law, order, and discipline are his main three things. Then you have the
law, order, and discipline for the Emperor over the world and the devil?
The devil is all about temptation and the way you perceive things.
Huh? So his planetary and his zodiac his zodiacal keywords don't apply no more.
Structure and discipline and all that, not really.
Yeah, but that's Saturn. This is Capricorn.
Mm-hmm.
So I normally say Capricorn is rules, regulations, and restrictions. You're saying he's all about temptation.
Not all about temptation. That's half the story.
What's the other half?
It could be about...
your own personal demons.
Well, all these are your personal demons. That's you. And these would be the two halves of your brain or mind. Right mind and left mind.
Man, they chain together.
No. They're there because they want to be. Those chains are there loosely, not tightly. That means that they choose to be there. That's voluntary subjugation under the devil. If you allow the devil to subjugate you, it's not that he subjugated you, it's that you allowed yourself to be.
Choice.
Choice.
That good old free will.
Or with this card, usually deals with perception.
But not death and rebirth?
That is death.
Death is not death and rebirth, it's just death.
No, death is death, rebirth, and great transformation.
What card is that?
That would be Scorpio.
No, I'm talking about, it looks like a knight on the horse.
What you mean, what card is
He looks like a knight. So this isn't a knight. This is just the death card.
Yeah, it's just the death card.
That's right, because you haven't said, there's no pentacles, there's no wands, there's no cups, no none of that up
That's
here.
all here.
Wow. Okay. All right. Is death fear? The things you fear?
No, the devil is usually the things you fear.
Okay, where were we on keywords? We was up here with the Emperor, and you said he was about that action. Initiation.
The Hierophant is spiritual lessons. That card usually doesn't pop up too much for me. Spiritual lessons, discipline, and dogma. Like if you see somebody like that usually is indicative or indicates that someone is like really, 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 really religious and very strict about their religion. So like in Philly, what are they? The people that are on like 52nd Street and
horses and stuff.
The moral.
No, not them. It's the Hebrew Israelite.
Yeah, the Hebrew Israelite. Those cats are very Hierophant like. They have a Hierophant energy.
I'm doing them squats sometimes. Yeah. Them calves.
Until next time.
That's cheese feet, everybody.
The Lovers. That is about hard decisions, usually about decisions that once you make them, you can't turn back. Also has to deal with your partner. And that also has to deal with the right and left side of your brain. So this is brain, this is emotion, and that is broken down as the soul. Those are the two halves that they have displayed here.
And the dogs are illusion and reality?
Yeah, it's illusion and reality.
They are the only cards that have two of something.
That's your reality coming to a very burning, crashing halt.
Then it might not. Then it might be the fantasy.
Yeah.
A reality
check.
So the tower is a reality check.
Very, very strong reality check.
Yeah. Okay. So somebody. Okay, I can see how somebody would misinterpret that as death. It's like, nah, it's not going to kill you.
Nah, it's
not, harsh though.
Yeah. I actually had this card come up for a client before, and when it did come up, I had to tell her, like, you have to be prepared for the road ahead. Only because if you do not take steps to be prepared for the things that are coming, are you going to get hit like a wrecking ball, and there's nothing you're going to be able to do about it.
How long you been doing this professionally, like taking clients?
I just started professionally.
Professionally is how long you been taking money. That's what I always say. As soon as you charge somebody
I just started doing this professionally, I would say, in the last couple months. I've been doing tarot readings for about 6.5 years, though.
So if somebody want to get a reading, where do they go to Instagram, or how they get it?
You can hit me up on Instagram at Owl Crown Tarot, or you can hit me up on Facebook, or you can follow Lords of the Pivot and get in contact with me that way. Okay.
On Facebook is what's the name on Facebook?
My name on Facebook is Cazador de la Luna.
Y'all better go to Instagram. You know, none of y'all can.
Yeah, that's why I didn't.
Just go to Instagram, and then by the end of the day, he'll be on Linktree, and he'll have a Facebook link through his Instagram where you can get in contact. But normally, I'm gonna just make him put the PayPal link up there. Okay, so I'm gonna need keywords along with planetary influence to do a reading. Correct or incorrect?
No, that's correct.
Okay.
And then after that, you need to know the spread. So all this is mathematical codes.
They all have numbers too?
Mm-hmm.
So what's the numbers?
0, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, all the way to 21.
Yeah, it's followed the Roman numerals. Tarot, just like I'm not going to say all, but most divinatory systems operate on a binaural code. This is no different. And reality is programmed on a binaural code. And the more that we can see that, and the more that we can extract and decode and break down code, the more that we can manipulate reality to the ways that we see fit.
Which is what power is about. That's what power is.
More or less.
When you start to influence things instead of being influenced by them.
So I think the last card that we were on, or that we were about to touch on, was the Chariot.
Who's on this? Oh, you skipped to the Tower. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, we skipped to the Tower.
Okay.
The Chariot signifies that victory is assured. It also expresses a need to be disciplined in yourself emotionally. Because these two sphinxes or horses will be very unruly if you are not controlled in yourself. If you don't have your emotions controlled, then everything is going to be haywire. Strength. I actually just got this card not too long ago as a card of the week, and I failed that lesson miserably. To learn to conquer forces through subtlety instead of brute force. I actually got into an altercation. I knocked this dude out in under 20 seconds.
Well, I mean, hey, man. I don't know the whole story, but I like under 20 seconds. That's a little long for me. I like it to like 5 or 4 seconds. But hey, you might have been Tesla and might have been thinking about something. But hey, why does that mean you failed miserably?
Because I didn't conquer through subtlety.
You could have lost. Would you rather have lost and you got knocked out in 20?
Oh, I wasn't worried about getting knocked out. We put on gloves for his safety, not mine.
Oh, y'all had gloves on.
He wanted gloves.
I
don't need that stuff.
That is subtlety. Gloves are subtlety. You won. It wasn't barefisted. You waited.
I was patient.
You waited until he put the gloves on. Wait a minute. Let
That's
me go
nice.
back.
That
Hold
was
on.
nice. I
This
thought you were being
is
nice.
my piece.
I was being nice.
Excuse me.
That was subtlety.
I'm from Fayetteville. So one of our rules is take off your jacket if you want to.
Right.
That means you catch this 4-piece. We're trying to get it over with. So if you put on gloves, ladies and gentlemen, and then fight, that was very subtle because I don't know nothing about that. Like, I'm surprised. You're talking about we put on gloves. I'm like, let's move forward. I think that you did very well because you could have just stole off. You could have stole off on him, but yeah, 20-second knockout. It took longer than 20 seconds to put the gloves on.
You're being generous. I have videos so we can watch it.
You videotaped the 20
I
seconds?
wasn't there.
Or somebody got on videotape.
We can watch it later.
I like short fights. I do like short fights, or scientific research. That's what I call it. The hermit. So the
This
subtlety.
is also leadership
And
and soft or feminine power.
absolutely.
I usually like to say soft. I don't really like to refer to it as feminine power because power is power.
Sister Myra will probably give you a plus lesson on that right there. There is a difference between the powers because there's levels. Meat told you there's levels. There is masculine power and then there's feminine power. Just like fire doesn't drown you and water doesn't burn you.
But it's still power, nevertheless. It can still influence things.
They have different influences though. They influence in different
It's
ways.
still power.
You can't float a ship on fire.
You're saying that they have influence, and I'm saying that influence is an influence, and as long as it's an influence that supersedes another thing, that is power. So there's no separation in power. It's just different ways you like to distinct it,
That's right.
but it's still power.
So you're saying there's no left and right then? You're saying it's just hands?
Yeah.
Or so then you'd be saying there's no knees and elbows. They're just joints.
The fact that you sit and look at things from a dualistic perspective keeps you from a unified perspective. When you do high magic, you stop looking at things from good and evil, and right and left, and male and female.
But
Everything is one thing.
high is the opposite of low.
Not necessarily.
But if someone heard high magic, they would think that the opposite of that is low magic.
I mean, I would say that is a very unfortunate thing for that person.
They would think it's high magic as unified magic.
Still magic. I see what you're saying.
But dark magic is still magic.
Yeah.
Right.
Black magic is usually magic that is performed for people that want to gain something for themselves.
I want to gain something for myself using my light magic. I'm not causing harm to anybody. I attribute the word harm to dark magic.
I mean, it could if you choose to harm someone, that is you gaining something. You're gaining satisfaction for them being harmed.
Yeah, that's some Scorpius type stuff. Right. I just participate in light magic for my gain though, without harming another person. However, if you run up and get done up, it probably happened to yourself. You bounce back off the magic. That's what I call repulsion. You know what I'm saying? You punch something hard and it hurts your fist. Was it the wall's fault or was it the person punching? You know what I'm saying?
Both.
You can't blame the wall for being hard.
Equal and opposite reaction. Equal and opposite.
Equal and opposite reaction.
That's a physics law. That's Newton.
Okay.
So it's both.
Okay.
Every time I harm you, I harm myself.
Facts.
That's karma.
It's like when your mama said, it's going to hurt me more, it's going to hurt you.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear that. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe that. That's what I used to be like, well, let's just keep us all safe then. Let's just spread his ass whooping. The hermit.
That is solitude, isolation, especially being afraid of isolation.
Damn. So many of these, because Pisces is afraid of isolation. Even though they want to be in their own reality, they want to structure it themselves, but that's their biggest fear, is to be by themselves.
And a hermit also can indicate a need for a higher spiritual calling.
Which also brings out the Virgo of the perfectionist. You know what I'm saying? And the hermit, I think that the hermit is he's on his own personal mission. And Virgos are mission-oriented type folks, or it's a mission-oriented type energy. All right. Wheel of Fortune. Got its
Jupiter.
got its own TV show.
That is expansion, luck, and the forces of fate and destiny operating.
Why is it on the back of the red creature?
So you have the devil, or you have a devil, you have a sphinx, and you have a snake, and the 4 other figures in the card are indicative of the cardinal points are the 4 archangels of the point of the cross. So this is Aquarius, that's air, that would be Archangel Raphael. This is Earth, that's Taurus, that would be Archangel Ariel. That is Leo, that's fire, that will be Archangel Michael. And that is
Scorpio.
Water, that's Scorpio, that will be Archangel Gabriel.
And who's the devil? Or who's the red being?
Those are just cosmic forces.
Oh, him and the snake.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That was a lot of similar keywords to Jupiter. Justice.
Karma. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. I actually just gave a reading for my brother not too long ago, and that was the first card, and I immediately knew that the things that he was doing in his life, I told him that you need to chill out and you need to start thinking about your actions because karma is on your head.
How'd he take that? Well, none of my business.
It resonated very heavily with him.
Okay.
I wasn't around. I didn't see my brother in like 6 to 7 months.
Oh.
And I just happened to lay down some cards. I was like, you need to get your act right.
Is that's Libra too, right?
Yes.
Okay. Why is she holding a sword?
Karma.
It's action.
Yes.
But can you explain to some people that karma is not a negative or a positive thing?
Karma is
a result.
Karma, if we had to explain that in physics terms, that would be for every law, for everything in existence, there is an equal and opposite thing to balance it out. Meaning that I think that's Newton's third law. For every force, there's an equal and opposite force. So if I push you, there's going to be equal to and opposite push back.
Me finding $100 is karma too, though.
That's karma.
Somebody breaking in my car is karma.
That's also karma.
And so
everything that takes place is a karmic transaction.
Right.
Us talking right now and people watching is all karmatic transactions.
Sequence of events.
That's all it is.
Right. Okay. Mr. Neptune, I'm not going to forget you, buddy.
That is spiritual epiphany.
He got the light around the head. But he had to look at it from a different angle.
Mm-hmm.
Change his perspective.
That also is the card or one of the cards of the visionary, because they do not look at the world from the way that we look at it. They look at it from a spiritual standpoint.
And he looks quite comfortable too. He doesn't look stressed out at all.
He's not stressed out. He's no longer bound to the limits of the physical reality. Why would you be stressed?
Right.
If I wasn't worried about no bills no more, I wouldn't be stressed either.
I don't worry about them now. I'm the hangman for sure. I got Neptune and I have North Node in Pisces. So our healing affirmations is when I let go and let God, I win.
Hey.
So, this ain't my job, it's God's job. Right.
Death usually doesn't. All right, so when people see the death card and the tarot reading, they usually think, oh my God, I'm about to die. If there's any card that represents death in the tarot reading, it is the Three of Swords. It is not death.
But not any of the major arcana represent you physically dying.
Yeah, not you physically dying.
Gotcha.
If it's a card, and none of these cards really represent anyone physically dying, but if there's a card that it can be attributed to that, it's the Three of Swords without a doubt.
Right. Somebody's getting capped or something.
That's 3 swords piercing the heart. I usually think that can be the point.
Bet. But this death card is transformation.
Change and transformation.
Is it drastic change or just regular change?
No, very drastic.
Oh, okay.
If you're looking for like more of a regular change, you're looking more towards Wheel of Fortune. And that's usually change in a good way. Unless that's reversed, and then, well, you're about to be in head for something. Most of these cards, they come in reverse. You're in head for something.
Damn. I want to do readings on the market.
Temperance is balancing the harder and softer forces to make them firm and balance them out and bring them into union. It also is philosophy, not like philosophy as far as like the school of philosophy, more so like personal, like people's personal philosophies.
Once again, Sagittarius energy, baby. You see that volcano back there exploding?
That's actually not a volcano.
What's that?
That is a mountain.
With the sun setting. Or is the sun setting or sun rising?
It's more so, that's supposed to be like Mount Sinai, like the holy mountain.
Enlightenment. Gotcha.
This is the fool's like journey to reach enlightenment. This is our journey to reach enlightenment. This is the process that each and every individual soul goes in the incarnation.
Whether they're reluctant or not?
It don't matter. You don't have control of you. They have control of you. If you're unaware.
Now your psychic ability, because I was going to be like, what? Because that's all I've been preaching is to be wise, you have to have awareness. So with awareness, how does that change the journey through the cards? It doesn't hurt as bad or what?
No, it all depends. You can be aware that you're going to get punched in the face and still get punched in the face. I'm pretty sure that's still going to hurt.
Right.
So your awareness doesn't change that these things would be harder or difficult.
Awareness changes how you respond to it. Right. Unawareness, we're definitely going to have a low energy response. Yes. Bet. Okay. All right.
And then what's that?
The devil.
The devil, that's temptation. Also has to deal with perception and being bound to your own vices voluntarily.
Loose chains. Loose. Not loose change either, but loose chains. Not tight. Self-inflicted. Choosing these jokers
and the reason that those two demons have different tails. So the wand is indicative of Dionysus, who is the Greek god of wine. And
who represents Neptune.
I didn't know that. So being too drunk or making too much wine from your own labors.
That's the one with the grapes.
Yep.
Okay.
And then the flame is knowledge.
Which I see the flame, but I'm just saying, like, why is that a devil?
Because all knowledge ain't good knowledge.
Okay.
Yes.
You going to the store?
Yes.
What are you going to get?
I don't know.
Why are you telling us?
I was telling you.
What's up?
I guess I'm snitching. She just want me to let y'all know. But that's how we do. That's how it's going down over here in West Philly. There ain't no age limit to you getting this. She just walking in and out of class because she already know this already. But me and my old ass,
sure,
I'm getting it for the first time.
If you can find Mr. G's, then whatever.
Yeah, I'll take some barbecue. Thank you. Chips.
The devil also can represent somebody being too caught up in the physical and not paying attention to the spiritual.
Can somebody be too caught up in the spiritual and not get caught and not pay attention to the physical?
Yeah, that will usually be represented by the hangman or the moon card. More so the moon card. Because once you get too caught up in the spiritual, you can't really tell the difference between reality and things that are going on in the spirit.
And the moon is Pisces, back to that illusion. Too religious. Too deep. That's your super woke folks. Okay, so then the tower.
The tower is, if you allow your materialism to get too heavy, the universe usually corrects that. Yeah. So that is usually somebody that loses their sense of spirituality and therefore their spiritual crown. And if you do Kabbalah, you understand what that signifies. Once that crown comes off, it's kind of a wrap. Because the crown is kept there. Once your highest Sephiroth explodes, there's really no hope for you or anyone.
Or that should be what your main concern is, going to get your crown back.
Yeah.
Versus this guy, nigga, get your crown back.
Yeah.
Start with that.
In the card, there's only one person that lost their crown. It was this guy, who is the emperor. The emperor still has her crown, or the high priestess, right? Still has her crown.
The emperor. So this is the fall of the emperor and the empress.
This is the emperor, and this is the high priestess.
High priestess.
You could say it's the empress. I usually say the high priestess due to the color scheme.
Right. I'm with that program. This to me is like the card doesn't represent Tantra, but just what you said about the crown, because we practice Tantra from the top down, where a lot of people practice from the root. You know what I'm saying? They're always talking about raising Kundalini, but Kundalini, it's impossible that Kundalini sits at the base of the spine because life started with the crown. Because when the sperm and the egg met, that's what they formed first, was the crown, and then it was the tadpole-like tail, which formed the spinal cord, and then the body started developing.
All right, so I can slightly see where you getting at. From a Kabbalistic standpoint, I would have to disagree. I would say you can equally go up or down, how you choose to see fit. Because if you decide to go up the tree, you're following the path of the serpent.
No. You can go. I'm not talking about which path you can follow. I'm talking about who came first.
Who came first?
The root didn't come before the crown. That's what I'm saying. The root didn't come before the crown. Because you existed in spirit.
Right. No, I see.
You existed in spirit. Then you came down out of the cloud and the body formed. You know what I'm saying? The root is not in the crown. The root is in the body. You know what I'm saying? The sacral is in the body. The heart is in the body. You know what I'm saying? But it came out of the crown. I can't wait till I get on my Kabbalah studies like y'all. Yeah. But hey, take it one step at a time. Might be next year.
So yeah, that's falling out spirituality. That's the way I usually see that card. This is hope. And hope and inspiration and dreams.
It's so crazy because the sequence of events. That Joker fell out the tower and is butt naked. Then lost everything, and it's like, that's what I'm looking for, some damn water. You know what I'm saying? Like after a catastrophe like that, that's what I'm looking for, is some hope.
He hoping, he praying that he can survive out here.
Or she, because them some breasts right there. That don't look like no man.
And then after that.
So wait a minute, keywords again for the star is hope.
Hope. Hope. I need to find your way out, or knowing that you're going to make it through your adventure, or whatever trial period that you're going through safely.
Right.
Those are the only two that are coming to me right now.
It's okay. Jokers can do their research. You ain't got to give it to them. This is, for me, I'm going to go further. I have the books. I just ain't been, I need somebody to show it to me, and then I go and do further research. So now we're on Pisces.
That's illusions, spirituality, and separating, being able to have the distinction between reality and fantasy. A very clear-cut distinction.
You know, addictions is akin to Pisces. Is the moon addictions too? Well, excuse me. Wine, drinking and smoking is more Pisces.
I would say if any card had to deal with addictions, it would be the devil. The things that we subjugate ourselves to. You subjugate yourself to every addiction you ever been through, or anyone ever goes through.
Well, we live in an addictive society, I call it. Jokers who want to be vegans, guess what? That's what they're addicted to. They want to argue. They want to argue about that cow. Even the halal cow.
They still subject themselves.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
And the subconscious mind bringing messages into the conscious mind. That is the crab or a lobster coming out of the water.
The water is the subconscious mind. The crab is the message.
And land is consciousness.
Is that a path?
Yes.
The yellow in the middle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The sun. You called him earlier. You said he was an arrogant bastard. You
Yep.
still feeling the same?
It's not that this deck makes me feel like he's an arrogant bastard. If I pull out my English magic deck, you'll understand exactly why I call him arrogant bastard.
Because I'm gonna play. Nobody else can play me but me.
He looks extremely pompous. And that's not even a word I use.
He's going in the bag.
Please don't tell me. That is not like a pompous asshole to you?
He's pimpish. You know the pimp gotta look good, brother. The P in pimp is it? That's for pompous. What you mean? That's the P is for powerful. He's a player in a major position. That's a player in a major position right there. You see him anywhere. Yeah, he got some pompous. That nigga got an ego right there. It took him 3 hours to get, to put the hat on. Don't worry about me getting dressed. He had to wake up like 4 a.m.
No, he had to wake up at 2:30 to hop in the shower immediately, to take 5 hours in that, to take 3 hours to put on each individual piece of clothes. When I think of like the sun card, that's usually the image that pops in my head, not this guy. That's how I'm like, yeah, who else is gonna play this pompous asshole?
Do those have 22 major arcana too?
This is a standard tarot deck.
What's that mean?
Standard tarot deck, this simply means that it follows the framework of tarot with the 78 cards, the 22 major arcana, and the 56 minors. So, oracle cards.
Wait a minute. So what's the deck beside it? That's the Bathweight or something like that?
This is the Rider-Waite. These are the rest of the cards that go here.
I know, but isn't this whole system Bathweight or somebody like that?
Rider-Waite.
Rider-Waite.
Yeah. These are the Rider-Waite cards.
So you said these are the basics and these are not?
These are the basics and these are not. These are the English Magic Tarot.
I ain't gonna get nobody confused. I'm gonna stick with this deck right here. What deck did you get first?
These are the standards. These are my babies. These are the ones I had the longest.
Gotcha.
I recently just got all these other decks within a year.
So you've been messing with these for 6 years. Yeah. Everybody else is new to the squad.
Is new.
They're your side. They're your the rest of the part of the harem. But this is the main wife.
The one that's making the real good play. And for those who study Kabbalah or Angelology, I would recommend that deck. It's called Angelium, Oracles of Emanation. It goes through the tree of life and the 22 path systems.
She want to be the second wife. She want to be second.
That card, those cards came to me.
You didn't pay for them.
No, I paid for them. I'm talking about like when they.
Oh, like the story I told you.
Yeah, like they came to me.
With that.
And you know how yours came 2 days early? Mine came 3 days early. Like the next day, like I ordered them, and you're supposed to be like here 3 days.
When he says mine, this is my deck over here. We ain't busting these open yet. Well, not on camera, we ain't. As soon as we cut this off, this deck right here getting ready to get over. But y'all can just chill on that. We over here get my basics down. So, since these are tarot, these are oracle. Are these oracle too?
Those are oracle cards, and these are oracle cards. And that's what I meant by standard tarot.
Standard tarot.
Standard tarot. Those are oracle cards.
Because standard tarot has
78 cards.
Bet. That's what you mean by standard.
That's a standard tarot deck.
Gotcha.
There are other tarot cards that might have. I think there's another Rider-Waite deck that's a little different. I think it has like 80 or 86 cards or something like that. It's still a tarot deck. It just has a few extra cards. I wouldn't consider that a standard because it doesn't follow the 78 framework.
Do you have numerology in the Divine Triangle, the book? Neb, if you have that in the house, will you bring it here, please? Numerology.
But there is a great deal of numerology in this system.
Oh, you have to get numerology in the divine triangle. Like,
I'm pretty sure I've seen it somewhere.
it's a white. It has a white cover. It's got the Pythagorean theorem on the not the theorem, but that's a shape. It has the right angle triangle with the 4 squares on it, and it's written by 2 people.
Gotcha.
Faith Gervais and Justin Baker, or Justin Gervais and Faith Baker. I'll call it.
Spiritual attunement.
No, the sun, spiritual attunement,
Spiritual enlightenment.
spiritual enlightenment, life and vitality. Could it mean good luck? So,
Luck is Jupiter. This is prosperity. See his flowers, how tall they grow. Prosperity.
somebody said, what is the Kabbalah deck called?
Angerium,
Angerium.
Oracle of Emanation.
Yeah, this scroll. Okay, and then old
Judgment.
Pluto, my peoples.
Being called to action. More specifically, being called to atone for something.
So now you want to just read my astrology chart. You're just gonna wait all the way. No, I'm just
I can
no.
lay this out on the wheel and do that.
No. I got Pluto in the first.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. You're reading me. Go ahead. I don't care if you put my business out there. I know it. Other people are like, what are you talking about? But since you know the basics of the first house, and if I have judgment in the first house, I look at it.
Oh shit.
Right. First card, not just in the first house, but first card.
If you were to do so if you were to do that, that means that any role that card played. So when you lay it down in the natal chart, the planetary cards are actors, and the sign cards would be the roles. So Judgment's natural role is death. That would be Scorpio. So if, let's say if that was Scorpio in the first house, and you have Pluto there.
Virgo in the first with Pluto.
Virgo in the first. So that means that you have the Hierophant. That would be Virgo. And the first with, that would be the Sun in Judgment. So the way I would read that is someone who definitely likes their solitude is not a want, it's a need. Solitude.
No, say the whole thing again. Someone who what?
Needs their solitude. It's not a want for them, it's a need. They need solitude.
That's what I just told Shorty. They was like, "Oh, I thought you were here to see the city." No, I'm here to see people. I'm here to see people, yo.
They not really the one.
Look how I'm dressed. Does it look like I've been somewhere today?
No. And they like comfort. That's another thing. They like to be comfortable. So I have Virgo in the first house. And if you were to have Pluto there or Judgment there, that means that when you were called to your spiritual action or your higher calling, that will be one of the processes in you being judged. And when people come to you, that's usually them receiving judgment. So you would kind of be like an agent of the higher and lower worlds.
Enough about me. That's we do that shit off camera. So just the keywords. So is judgment an agent, or that one of his keywords, or what's the keywords of Pluto?
Retribution.
Retribution. So I missed 2 flights to get here. The third flight I got here, I catch it with an Uber driver named Ali. Get in the car, Ali see my name, Coach Kair. But he don't say it, he just says, interesting name. So I'm thinking he's saying about Kair. I know there's a lot of Muslims in Philly. So I say, yeah, it's a hard name sometimes because it means excellent and benevolent. So the name, for me, because Virgo rising, I could be King Petty. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to live up to Kair and be a perfectionist, be excellent, be benevolent. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking about it could be tough sometimes. So he goes in on the word coach. And he was like, who were the coaches in the past? He was like, the prophets. All the prophets were coaches. Everybody went to the prophets. So he was like, if you can't handle that responsibility, you don't need to be using that name. I was like, we in the car a minute and a half. Then he goes to Kair. He says, do you spell it with an H? So he can't be talking about, of course I spell coach with an H, but everybody messes up Kair because the second letter is an H. And then he goes in. I said, yeah. He was like, yeah, that's a tough one too. So then it's not Kair is the English way you pronounce it. He was like, it's Al Kahir.
Kahir.
Right. And he was telling me it's from a country in it's from a country in it's from a country in Syria, right? And so he says Kahir means the enforcer. Pluto in the first. He was like you always find find victory. What up, Drea, Salt Lake City? Let me do my shouts right quick. Team Libra, Detroit. What up? I see you, Will, down there in the DMV. What up, Matthew? Ren.
My problem
I
is
wanted to show the sister Ren Pet the deck. So I don't know if she's opened it up and looked at it.
Who? Ren Pet.
She asked about the thought deck, so I brought it down real quick.
my whole thing is about that.
You can show the outside.
Well, the thought deck.
I should turn it around.
This the thought deck. And what we're talking about with the decks, with the artwork.
That's Rosicrucian.
Like,
Yeah.
this is Aleister Crowley.
That's Aleister Crowley.
Huh?
He was one of the foremost students of the Golden Dawn.
But the artwork on here is so ridiculous that you have to really understand the imagery's significance and symbolism on the actual tarot decks to be able to play with these things.
Yeah, if you're not symbol, all right. So for people that just like to go buy tarot decks and the first deck they get,
This ain't the one.
No, that is for someone that has been studying the occult for at least 10 to 20 plus years.
Yeah, like this is the chariot. Like if you put this next to the other chariot, you can see the intricacies of this card. And that's just a simple card, but it's image wise.
I was ready to go to Amazon right now and cop.
Yeah, this deck is.
Will told me I can't get them. It's all good.
No,
Most people do get those.
It's a beautiful deck.
It is beautiful. Those are not for the average
No.
run-of-the-mill like hobbyist that wanted to get into tarot. I'm not ready for those cards. I've been doing this for 6 years.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
this-
okay.
I'll get to those around like year 10, 15. I'll waste my time. There's not even no waste. I'll spend my time going through those.
Right.
But right now,
It's a beautiful deck, though.
I know it's too much.
Ren Pet, how long have you been studying tarot? Big up Team Gemini and Durham. Up
She
if
said she's been doing tarot.
huh?
She said she's been doing tarot, but
Some
Just
people
wanted to
just
give
pick
her a
those
sneak
cards
peek.
up, and just try to work with them. I don't really suggest that. That's a very high level of psychology that people had to be able to go into.
Let's go to the keywords for the world because we done got to the bottom.
End.
we gotta big
Huh?
up the youth,
The
though.
end.
We gotta big up the youth because even the youth got their own decks. That's how we do around here. We got a manga deck.
Oh yeah, I
For
just
the
started
young one
teaching,
who was just
for free.
here, she got her own deck. Manga.
What?
Yeah, she got an anime deck.
What?
Yeah. So we even the youth gotta
What?
get in on it. Get in how they fit in. They gotta pick what
They got a
resonates
book.
with
They got a book that goes with these.
this one.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. She picked those. Those is what she wanted, so she got them.
Tell me, my nephew, he turns 11. He get ready to
Exactly
get a
what I
birthday.
tried to tell. That's why I'm showing them to you.
The end. Why is the world the end?
Because it's the end of the deck.
Huh?
It's the end. Or it's the beginning of the end.
But it's got the four
Yep.
just like
Yep.
like
Same setup.
the same fixed signs.
Mm-hmm. It represents completion, the end, and the start of a new beginning.
Oh, but like you said, once you get here, the fool's journey, he becomes the
Grandmaster. He's no longer a fool. He's a master magician. He is the Grandmaster magician, more specifically. Hermes Tristis.
Toph, the Jonty. So what about spreads?
That's a Spreads, it all depends on what kind of spread you're trying to do.
No, I'm saying, okay, so how would I determine, if I'm only using the 22 cards, how would I determine, oh, it just depends on whatever the situation is?
It all depends on the nature of the spread.
Or the nature of the situation that I want consultation on. Because I still consider this the oracle, just like the I Ching.
If you were to do, like, let's say you were to do a past, present, future, then you would do a 3-card spread. Let's say if you were to do the Celtic Cross, where it's a specific question, then you would lay down. I think Celtic Cross is usually done between anywhere from 9 to 11 cards. The average is usually 10. Or if you wanted insight into a problem or issue, I just recently learned this. It's called the Eclipse Spread. So you pull the Sun card and the Moon card, and you have enough space in between them for another card to be placed. That would be the eclipsing issue, and then whatever card would be at the end would be the illuminating issue. So let's say here. So the way I would interpret this is that the eclipsing issue is that there's a change taking place that whoever the client is not really comfortable with, and the eclipsing issue is to go through this change with subtlety and stop trying to resist it with brute force.
So you would just lay the Sun and the Moon card down.
You just pull those 2 cards from the deck first,
and then shuffle, and then have them pull 2 cards.
Yeah, you will have them shuffle, and then they will pull 1 card, and then you will shuffle again, and you will pull another card. I just did that for example's sake.
Right.
Somebody said they can't hear.
It'll be okay. Nobody else said it. And you poor internet connection. So, how many, off the top of your head, how many spreads are they? Don't answer that.
Mathematical equations that you can come up with.
Okay, so what are some of the simpler spreads?
The basic spreads that people usually start out with are the 1-card spread that's usually like done as a card of the day. The 3-card spreads, which is past, present, future. Then you might have a 5-card spread that might be anywhere from past, present, future to like relationship. That's when you usually start getting to like relationship spreads. After that is 7, and then people usually jump from 7 to 9 or 10-card spreads. I'm at the point now that I really don't care how many cards are in the spread. Like the most I ever done was 32 cards in 1 spread. And that's almost half the day.
When you do the astrological spread, when y'all be putting the cards around
cards. That's 22 cards. These 22 cards you see right here. I will use those.
That's it. You gonna show me how to do that?
Yeah, I'll show you that now.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, y'all got all y'all getting for the day. Wait a minute. Tell them where they can find you.
They can find me on Instagram at Owl Crown Tarot, and you can find me at Facebook as Cazador de la Luna.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm gonna show him how to get a Linktree account so he can. Hey, I might start this over and we just might call it Astro Tarot, and y'all can just look at it from the top. But I don't know. Y'all been acting right. How did y'all enjoy this? Go ahead, look. We just had to send somebody. We just had to split 1 bag of chips. So if y'all like this, y'all can put some in the Cash App. You know what I mean?
Yes, man.
Coach Khayr is the Cash App, so me and Will can split something. If it was really, really good to you, absolutely. All right, so we're gonna check y'all in a minute. Thank y'all for coming in.
You wanna help me?
Owl Crown.
Come on, you know.
No. I want to do it from the gate. Oh. Wait. Let me.
No, I'm about to set up my chart. I'm gonna set up your chart. I got 2 decks here.
Oh,
I got you.
Oh.
This is part of her lesson.
Oh, well, there we go. He finna set his deck up first. He finna do his. So you try to read yourself and the 9 came out. What kind of spread is that? I don't know what you're talking about. You're going to have to get in contact with Owl Crown Tarot.
That's Leo.
Anybody can hit me up and reach him too. Hit up Nebhead.
You can hit up Nebhead.
That's my son.
She's
Lords of the Pivot also.
Lords of the Pivot.
You got this.
Send a message. All of y'all should be following. Did anybody go over? How many of y'all are following Owl Crown Tarot? Oh, you got Cash App too?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's on there.
Owl Crown Tarot. You can hit either one of those. No. Right. We'll take $2 a piece or $200 a piece. We are open receivers. Hi, Iris. Okay, so just like all of my stuff, you know what I'm saying? We
That's the
definitely.
first one.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how helpful was this? And what was it that you pulled from this particular lesson that you can apply immediately in your life, if anything? Because all of y'all ain't interested in tarot. You know what I'm saying?
I would say the one thing they could pull from this, whatever your sun sign is find your corresponding major arcana card, and that will tell you a great deal about yourself and how you're able to perceive and maneuver this reality.
That was a cheat code.
That was a series of cheat codes.
The Hierophant. I need to be studying the Hierophant because I'm a Taurus.
Yeah.
And Pisces. Because I pay more attention to my North Node because that's my spiritual destiny. So I want to look at both of those.
Yeah, you need to look at both of those. Well, like you said, off camera for you. You want to be off camera.
He gave you a cheat code. So,
I got a free one.
so up to y'all.
You gotta get the youth in the back putting her joint together. Don't get it twisted.
Those planets. You can sit right here.
Right.
There's
So you see how that's
no one's
going?
exempt.
Right.
Which one is that?
Capri, how old are you? When's your next
Capri.
birthday? How old are you? How long you been doing that right there?
Be honest.
Hey, you've been doing this for 6.5
I say you.
You.
How long you done?
How long have you been doing this particular spread that you're doing now? How long did it take you to learn that? A couple of months?
Maybe 2 years.
2 years? Okay, good. All right. So catch the replay. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. Send me a friend request. Make sure you speak first.
That's me.
Anna Bakoa, get to lock your men God to Tia Tezara, Kabel Renat, Amcha Sagvanu, Tahara Nunara, Nagibor, Shea Kadeka, Kavava Shamran, Barkum Taram, Rakame, Tazika Taka, Tamid Gamlin, Tazika Zok.
You gotta find the rest of the songs.
Anna Bakoa, get to lock your men God to Tia Tezara, Kabel Renat, Amcha Sagvanu, Tahara Nunara, Nagibor, Shea Kadeka, Kavava Shamran, Barkum Taram, Rakame, Tazika Taka, Tamid Gamlin, Kasim Kadosh, Baru Tufka, and the hell out of Taker. Yakit Gehel, Chapanez, with Craig Katushka Teka, Shabbatanu Kabel, Ushma, Dazakatanu, Yodea, Talamot, Barukshem, Kavo Makuto, Lalam Vaed.
You got you.
Peace.
You got Sage. And you got me.